This is Bruce Boudreau, and it's time for Clay's Canucks commentary live. Let's go with Clay right now.
Hey Canucks fans, and welcome to Clay's Canucks commentary live for Wednesday night, May the 31st. If you're new, here's what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. Looks like I just missed Max. I think Max was in here first. He was the first one in here as we were all making our way over from the member stream, the monthly member stream, which we did tonight. And it looks like he has to go study for a math test. So I cannot blame him for putting his studies first. But I feel bad now. He waited for us, and then he was the first one out. But sounds like a smart kid if he's got a good head on his shoulders if he's prioritizing a math test over Canuck Clay. So welcome everyone. Glad that you are here. I am D Canuck Clay Emo, and this is my Canucks take on one take. Moderators, do what you need to do. Members, that's legends, Hall of Fame and franchise members, all of you that we just had an awesome members chat. Thank you to everyone joining me. Remember, members can continue to ask questions and do whatever you want, but try to ask different questions than that you asked me just half an hour ago if you can. And everyone else, no matter where you're watching from, whether you're in my beautiful neighborhood of Steveston and Richmond, in the city, Lower Mainland, province, country, continent, or around the world, thank you for being here. I always appreciate you. I never take you for granted. I know that you could be watching, doing anything else right now. I know that you could be getting ready for work, school, or bed, or all three. But the fact that you are here, I appreciate you, always appreciate you. And like I said, never take you for granted. So for everyone, subscribe so you can get active in the chat section, get my videos every single day. Like the video. There's 20 of you in here already. Thank you. Only 7 likes. So let's bump that up. You can leave a donation and get the donation train out of the station. You can gift a membership, which is the same as a $5 donation, and you give someone franchise membership. You can become a member yourself if you're not a member, or you can upgrade your membership as well. If you're listening on a podcast platform like I know Ryan does, I appreciate Ryan and everyone else that's listening on the podcast side. Make sure you rate and review. And finally, don't forget that I go for the first 15 or 20 minutes, and then I will turn it over to all of you. And yes, Murray, always appreciate you being here all the way from New Zealand. I'm going to talk about 2 things real quick. The 2 things that were named in the title of actually, I'll talk about 3 things that 2 of them I named in the title of the stream. I'll try and get through them in the next 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and then I will turn it over to all of you. But before I do that, got to recognize that the legend herself, Carol Bovenlander, comes through by gifting a membership. So let's give some love to Carol. And Carol gifts a membership. So it's a $5 donation. And the franchise membership for a month goes to Mackie Singh. I think Mackie has been a member once before. So hopefully we can convince Mackie to stay. So welcome to membership, Mackie. Thank you, Carol, for your generous donation. And Rosario, I cannot wait for you to tune in. What's the time change when you're going to be watching me from Italy? So thank you, Carol. Let's give Carol some love, and let's give Mackie a warm welcome to franchise membership, part of the CCC. 3 things I'm going to talk about very quickly. Number 1, and members, I mentioned this already in the... Hello, Rick. Nice to see you. I mentioned this in the member stream already. Jett Woo signed to a 1-year contract, a 1-year 2-way contract. What that means, you're saying, well, what does 2-way contract means? He gets paid 2 different ways, 2 different amounts, depending on whether he plays in the NHL or the AHL. If he's playing with the Vancouver Canucks, he makes a good league minimum, but good money, $775,000 a year, $775,000. If he plays for the Abbotsford Canucks, he makes $100,000 a year. Still decent, Not as good as 775 though. So obviously there's huge motivation for Jett Woo to make the Canucks and stick with the big club. So that's what a two-way contract is. If he signed a one-way contract, and that's what like Petey and Hughes and Miller, basically all the veterans get one-way contracts, that means you're paid exactly the same way, whether you are on the farm team or on the big club. So you obviously want to have a one-way contract because you don't have to worry about your salary fluctuating depending on where you are playing. Jett Woo was drafted in 2018 in the second round, just 30 picks after Quinn Hughes. I remember Quinn Hughes getting picked in the first round, 7th overall. Then it was Jett Woo, 37th overall in the second round. And then we were all joking about this Woo-Hughes pairing. And obviously, they've taken different paths. Quinn Hughes came in the league just a year right after that, after doing one more year in college. And he's been amazing. He was a finalist for the Calder Trophy, didn't win it. He now has really blossomed into one of the best defenders in the entire NHL. I would dare say he's probably the best defender in Canucks history already. Adam, Jett Woo has not played any NHL games yet, and that's what I'm just going to get to. And hello, Bruce, and hello, Nucks and Bolts. Whereas Jett Woo hasn't played a single game in the NHL just yet. Some promise when he was drafted. I remember he was kind of like a throwback defenseman, right shot guy, steady, stay at home, decent wheels, decent offense, decent hands, but kind of like a Kevin Bieksa to me. And obviously, he hasn't had the same. Well, he hasn't played in the NHL yet, so you can't really compare him to Bieksa. But not an oversized, but not undersized, just kind of average build, good right shot, stay at home D-man. So the Canucks could use him, but it's a matter of will they use him? And here's the scenario. On the right side right now, they have Philip Hronek for sure. They're going to have Tyler Myers, at least to start the season. And then they may or may not have Ethan Bear. Let's presume that they do have Ethan Bear signed to a new contract as well. Then Jett Woo is going to be in the battle for like a fourth spot, like a sixth, seventh, or eighth D spot with Noel Juleson on the right side. Kyle Burrows maybe comes back. Then there's still Philip Johansson, Cole McCord. So there's about 7 or 8 guys that could battle for a right side spot alone. So we'll see how that goes. I think if I had to predict, I think Jett Woo will start the season in Abbotsford in the AHL. But I do anticipate that he'll get a call up sometime during the regular season. Because remember, the Canucks use 16 different defensemen this season. So that's a lot. But if God forbid, or they have to do that again, then Jett Woo will be sure to get some playing time. I just don't know how much. A message from Shannon. Just want to acknowledge this real quick before I continue. Shannon says, just want to say, please say prayers for my dad in Alberta. A huge tree fell on his house and they'll see the damage tomorrow. Gosh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope your dad's okay. Like, obviously you're not happy to hear of any damage done to his property, but if he's okay, that is indeed the main thing. Yeah, but that is very scary for sure. Thank you for sharing that, Shannon. So there's some thoughts on Jett Woo. In about 5 or 6 minutes or so, when I turn it over to you guys, I would love your thoughts on him. And do you ever see him being an impact player for the Canucks? And if so, what type of player do you think he'll be? And if not, tell me why. So that's Jett Woo. So at least some news coming out of Canucks land today for sure. 2 other things I want to talk about. The next one is not listed in the title, but the Athletic, the paywall site, sports site, they did an annual fan survey of broadcasters. So it's not very scientific. They basically get fans to rate their own broadcast team for their own team. And then they also get them to rate any others that they've heard. And of course, not everyone has heard every other pairing or every other broadcast. So it's some markets are overrepresented, some are underrepresented. But they did their annual poll, and Vancouver's team came in 4th overall, which is pretty good. Actually, I'll show you the ranking because I tweeted about it. And yeah, the Vancouver Canucks duo of Garrett and Shorthouse came in 4th overall, which is pretty good. I'll just pull it up right here. Here it is. So let me go and show you guys on my Twitter account. So there you see, I say The Athletic just released their annual ranking of NHL broadcasts in their admittedly non-scientific fan survey. So remember, you rate your own broadcast team, and then you can lend input into any other ones that you feel. So Seattle Kraken's team came in first, broadcast. Detroit Red Wings came in second. Then Dallas Stars came in third. And then of all the Canadian teams, Canucks were the highest. They came in fourth because everyone loved John Garrett and people really admired John Shorthouse. Oilers were next best. They were 8th. Canadians 13th. Flames 18th. Sens 20. Jets 23. Maple Leafs 25. And then the worst broadcast teams, Bruins were at 30. The Ducks at 31. And the Blackhawks at 32. And what's really interesting is on my member stream, someone asked me who were my least favorite teams. And these are 3 of them right here: Bruins, Ducks, and Blackhawks. And then it's the Flames as well. So some good love for the Vancouver Canucks broadcast team. And I think not just from people here who watch listen to them and see them on all the local broadcasts, but obviously there are a lot of fans of John Shorthouse and John Garrett throughout the entire NHL. So I thought that was kind of cool. By the way, on my Twitter account also, I'll be talking about this a bit later, but my next stream is actually on Saturday night, but it's not on this channel. It's on SDPN. We are doing Game Over Stanley Cup Finals. So we're going to be covering all the games of the Stanley Cup Finals. We're rotating among the hosts. And my first one is, the one I'm doing is Game 1 on Saturday night. And it's with Peter from Game Over Calgary and Lauren from Game Over Toronto. So I'm looking forward to that. That is this Saturday on the SDPN channel. And there's me. I've shown this before, me making that amazing save at the Hockey Hall of Fame. Last thing I'll ask you about, and then I'll turn it over to you for some of your questions and some of your feedback, is the Brad Treliving. Brad Treliving, the former Calgary Flames GM, was named the new GM of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Came out of nowhere from a standpoint of the announcement happened pretty quickly with not a lot of leaks, but people knew that Brad Treliving was one of the candidates for sure. Now, when Brendan Shanahan fired Kyle Dubas, he said they wanted someone with experience, that they wanted to move pretty quickly. So I think it's only been 2 weeks or so since Dubas was fired, and now Toronto has their brand new GM in Brad Treliving. Now, some people, some jokes, of course, saying Brad Treliving loves signing former Vancouver Canucks, so maybe we can trade some guys to Toronto and get out of our cap crunch. Others were say that Calgary underperformed under Treliving, and then he had some tough moves to make. He had to let Johnny Gaudreau walk, and people were actually praising the deal he got back for Matthew Tkachuk, because on paper, Huberdeau, Uyghur, that's pretty good return for Tkachuk. No one thought that Tkachuk would have been as good as he has been this season. Everyone that I've heard talk in the media talks about how nice of a guy Treliving is, how caring he is, how thoughtful he is, how bright he is. And not a lot of people actually blame the Calgary woes on Brad Treliving. It's more on the coach, on Sutter, Daryl Sutter and stuff. So we will see what kind of job he does. The Toronto fans, I know, they weren't like absolutely thrilled. They weren't absolutely thrilled about the hire, but they certainly weren't upset about it. So I think Treliving at least comes in with that almost like a neutral stance from Toronto fans. And it's more fans, I think, throughout the league just kind of see how he's going to perform and what kind of decisions he's going to make on Sheldon Keefe, on Austin Matthews, Nylander, Marner, so on and so forth. And some funny comments. Bruce saying, I'm down to see an Asian BX low key. Love it. JS is saying, could you do a stream on this channel after, or is that too much? If you're talking about Stanley Cup Finals Game 1, I probably won't because it's Saturday night. I generally don't stream on Saturday nights, and I do want to be protective of my time for sure. You just have to come watch. Make sure you check out SDPN for sure. And hello, Ryan. Would I rather have Alvin or Dubas? I like Dubas. Alvin still has to kind of prove himself to me. So tell you what, hang on to your questions and you can start asking them in about 2 minutes once I get through my mid-show sponsor read. So shout out to my sponsors, Van City Experts Real Estate. Contact Jason Lim and his team for all of your real estate needs. Thank you to Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. You can check out their services at ptform.com. Thank you to Gassy Jack Art, maker of this fine artwork. Thank you to Monkey Nine Brewing, my eternal sponsor. And thank you to Vessi Footwear. I still think this link works, but I should probably check it. tinyurl.com/VessiClay and receive a free pair of socks off of your next Vessi purchase. Mid-show reminder to you to check out my, if you're listening on a podcast platform, to make sure you rate and review. And tonight, we're still looking for the first donation to get the donation train out of the station. So if you want to be the first one to leave a donation, be happy to accept it. Thank you. Carol did leave a donation of sorts by gifting membership. So you can subscribe, like the video, leave a donation, get that donation train out of the station. You can become a member, upgrade your membership, or gift a membership as well. So let's do 15 minutes of hockey related questions, then 5 or 10 minutes of Ask Me Anything starting now. Ferraro is a candidate to replace John Garrett for sure. Alvin has to clean up Benning's mess. Yes, he does. If I had to bet, will Arizona play one more season in the state or will it be 2 years? Let's say 2. I have no reason why I said that. I just picked that number out of your 2 choices that you gave me. Welcome, Tyler. Should I buy a Barkov jersey or Eric Stahl jersey? The Panthers have been my second favorite team for years, but I don't have a jersey yet. Just as I said to Fangirl in the membership stream, obviously do whatever you think makes you happy. I think if it were me, I'd buy a Barkov jersey just because he'll be playing for a little bit longer. And I think he's the better player, but I don't think you can go wrong with either of those two. Do you think Tree Living will trade a core 4 of the Leafs? Well, I don't. He's not afraid to make big trades or let guys walk. So I do think he might do something. Others were suggesting that maybe this is the big move. You make a decision on your coach and then that's it. We'll see. But I don't think he'll be afraid to pull the trigger on a big move, quite frankly. Jett Woo is 22 years old. He's 6 feet tall and he's 200 pounds, Murray. What do I think about the broadcast team that sits side by side versus color man saying behind the player bench? I love it when there's a color man between the benches. I just think that there's a certain, it's harder for them to see, but they're right in the middle of the action. I think there's a certain nuance and a certain, I don't know, there's something about a good play-by-play man being down, or a good color man, I should say, being down between the benches. If the person isn't that good, then it's kind of like a waste. But as long as they have good communication, as long as they can hear each other and they don't speak over each other a lot, then I love it. I love having the guy in between the benches. I think it adds a lot to the broadcast. Jay said get a Luongo jersey. I do indeed still have that David Booth jersey. Sad but true. Is Tree Living better than Dubas? Tough to say. Definitely older, more experienced for sure. Who makes a better impact on the Canucks before they retire? Klimovich or Rathbone? I think Klimovich, because I think as much as I like Rathbone, I'm not convinced that he's going to get a really good shot here, especially if Hirose is good and then Wolanin as well. So maybe by the time all said and done, it's Klimovich. Maybe. Tough to say. Vancouver used 16 defensemen last year, indeed. But Woo wasn't one of them. That doesn't say much about their confidence in him. Yeah, but he did have a good year last year. And maybe all those 16 aren't going to be back this season. So maybe he slides into, I don't know, number 10 or 11 spot. I don't know. But I hear what you're saying, Ali Williams, for sure. Jett Woo just got a part-time job at McDonald's. I'm not sure what that means, Adam, but I don't think it's true. Tyler, I just spoke about it for about 10 minutes, so I asked you to rewind and watch it later, but it's a low-risk signing for sure. What's your favorite Canucks parody I did pre-Boudreaux? How Sweet It Is was pretty good because it got us on to an NHL fan award. Some of our Christmas ones were fun as well. Yeah, so maybe one of those ones. There are a lot of good ones though. I like Bruno Mars, Trevor instead of Treasure. Yeah, there are a lot of good ones. Okay, friends, I've caught up. So pump me with your Canucks and hockey related questions. You can talk about the Stanley Cup Finals that are starting on Saturday. Oh, by the way, if you're entered into my hockey pool, I'll be sending out revised standings tomorrow. Oh man. So Bruce, I'm glad you asked me about Milan Lucic, who appeared with Donnie and Dolly. They asked him if he wants to play for his hometown. And then if anyone who saw the full interview, he actually paused and he really, really avoided answering. He didn't say yes right away. He said stuff like, oh, I have to go where it makes sense. Given my age, I haven't really had time to think about it. I want to go where I can win, blah, blah, blah. Then at the very end of that part, he did say it's every player's dream to play for their hometown. And that's what got clipped. That's what a lot of people were sharing today, or yesterday. But I think if you take the time to watch the whole clip in its context, you will see that he actually hemmed and hawed and he was leaning towards basically saying no without saying no. No, I did not know that the hockey guy ranked the Canucks goal song as the worst. I didn't see that video. Is that recent, Joker? Was Jett Woo still playing the WHL? No, he was in the AHL. So he's with Abbotsford, Shannon, last year. He was playing WHL like 3 or 4 years ago, but last year he was in Abbotsford. Low risk is good, indeed. Edmund, I will save that for Ask Me Anything. Your food questions. I would like to see the ownership and the front office stir the pot with Vancouver and see what happens. Did not have a good year last year. I hope something positive happens. Yeah, there's a hope that they actually are busy and they're not afraid to rock the boat a little bit, to try new things, because whatever they've been doing so far has not been working. If Myers gets traded, is it just for a draft pick or is he worth more since the right shot D? If you trade Myers, given everything, I think you're just happy if you don't have to throw in a sweetener. So it might be just a draft pick. And like not a high one, like a third or fourth rounder. I don't know. Then maybe as long as you paid his bonus out, then a team trading for him will only be paying him $1 million of salary, but with a $6 million cap hit. And there are teams that need to get to the cap floor. So we'll see. But I don't think he's worth a lot, even despite him being a right shot D. Great question. If Lucic does decide to join, I would be okay with it. I'd be okay with it, but it wouldn't. I don't know if it's the best use of money. But don't you think the Canucks are headed in the right direction? I do. I do think they're headed in the right direction. But Lucic, I think, is 37, so I don't know how many good years he has left in him. Got to trade Myers. My guy is a world champion. Yeah, Bruce, I'm not sure if you hear when I joked about it after they won the gold medal. Is there a lot of people kind of, not saying you are, but kind of being sarcastic about, gold medalist Tyler Myers now. Do I think the Canucks will have to decide between Myers and Bear? No, Edmund. I could see a world where Bear's signing actually is not predicated on what they're going to do with Myers. Congrats to the Canucks for their defense situation. I hope EP40 will return this season. Well, he's under contract, Shannon, for 1 more year, but this contract extension they're talking about is for after next season. I do not think you ever want to play for Vancouver. Oh, Lucic, yeah. Oh, and Jesse corrected me. He's only 33 or 34. Sorry about that. Yeah, I added a few. Maybe he skates like he's 37, but I agree, he's only 34. Thanks, you guys, for that correction. Fangirl, is there a realistic scenario that Horvat returns to the Canucks like Linden did, since both have been compared to each other? No, I don't think so. I don't think, and it's not just sentimental. It has to make sense for both teams involved. But Fangirl, if I was a betting person, I don't see that happening. I don't see why it would happen. Horvat, as much as everyone, but most of the fan base liked him, didn't really accomplish much when he was here. Didn't lead the team to accomplish much. So, I still like him a lot, but I don't see like a fairy tale kind of return for him in the future. Myers did play better in the World Championships, but he's still pretty decent. Yep. No, we're happy. Very happy that he won gold. Happy for him. Happy for Ethan Bear. Happy for all Canadian players for sure. Get Horvat back in 2056. 2056. I'll be 82 years old then. Nice. Clay, you should post a Twitter poll of which team Vancouver fans are cheering for in the finals. That's a great point. Maybe I'll do that closer to game 1 on Saturday. That's good, Kempner. That's good. That's a good question. All right, friends, 2 more minutes of hockey-related questions, and then we'll do 10 minutes of Ask Me Anything. So 2 more. 2 more. Honzik at 11th. I've seen him pegged around there in a lot of mock drafts. He's the Vancouver Giants player, right? Is he a center or a winger? I think if he's a center, sure. If he's a winger, maybe not. What is happening with Brock Besser? Nothing. He's under contract for 2 more seasons still with the Canucks, Shannon, at $6.6 million per season. If the Canucks won the Cup in 2020, would the city have allowed a parade to celebrate, or would all be virtual celebrations? That was right in the middle of COVID. Yeah, I don't see a parade happening. It would be highly frowned upon. Who do I think the Canucks could realistically pick at 11? I don't want them to pick a defenseman. I think that's overshooting. I think any of the centers at 11th. Does Benson fall that far? Maybe, maybe not. Oliver Moore, this Honzik player. Yeah, I think they're going to have a pick of many centers. I was just looking at the Athletic list last night, and where their mock draft has, where was it? I just had it. Hold on. Give me a sec. Give me a sec. Oh. Sorry, no, you guys, this probably isn't the best for the podcast. They did their mock draft yesterday. Okay, I'll just look it up real quick because NHL mock draft. NHL mock. Oh, no, prospect. Oh, yeah. So Corey Pronman did the top prospects. This is what I was looking for. So it went Bedard, Fantilli, Michkov, Carlson, and Smith. No surprise in the top 5. Reinbacher, Danielson, Dvorsky, Butt, and Simashev were number 5 through 10, 6 through 10. So, any of those centers, Danielson, Dvorsky, I'd be open to. They had Ryan Leonard, right winger, number 11, and Perot, right winger, 12, Honzik, left winger, 13. So then maybe, and they have Benson as low as 17 and Oliver Moore as low as 19. So it could be any of those players, but I want them to get a center or a defenseman. I don't want them to pick another winger. Do you think the Canucks make the playoffs this year? I do. I'm hopeful, and I think they'll get a wild card. What do you think? The hockey guy mentioned you in one of his videos about the new seats. Yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice. I don't think that Shannon watches all my stuff, but he's at least aware that if I'm I like the way he said that Canuck Clay reported, which is kind of, and thanks Rob for passing that on. No, it's nice. It's always nice when we can shout out other content creators, but I didn't think too much of it other than, no, I appreciate it. It was nice. No, we don't need any goalies right now. You do want ASP or Reinbacher. Yeah, that's fair, but I've heard a lot of experts say that those 2 guys will be picked too high because of that they're right shot defensemen. And I don't know who this guy is. I have to look him up. Am I ever doing a 2-hour stream? Not intentionally. That's a long time, and it's hard to keep people's attention for that long. I know, Jay, I appreciate you. I know you like it when I stream. You're always advocating that I stream more, but I'm going to save myself for when the Canucks are actually playing. How many pieces are the Canucks away from a possible Stanley Cup appearance? Talking about Stanley Cup final, I'd say 4 or 5 pieces. They need a third line center. They need 2 better defensemen. They need an upgrade in their bottom 6, another scoring winger. So maybe 5. I appreciate that, Jesse. Don't need to compare. Obviously, if we got into a compare, he's got like 300,000 followers, subscribers. I got 10,000. He's obviously doing something right, but I do appreciate your loyalty, Jesse. Thank you. Would I trade down to the 19th for another draft pick? Yep, I would. I would. If you think there are a lot of good guys between 11 and 20, I would trade down, get an extra pick, and try and move some salary. Who do I want to win the cup? I'm choosing Panthers. Yeah, if I had to pick one, I choose. I don't hate Vegas, but I would choose Panthers because of Luongo, for sure. For sure. Okay, friends, let's move to Ask Me Anything now for the last 10 minutes. I may entertain 1 or 2 more hockey questions, but let's move to Ask Me Anything. So non-hockey related questions. And if anyone wants to break the donation fast, you are more than welcome to. Hey, Ricky, are you like me anxious for the draft and free agency? Yeah, it was exciting that there was some Jett Woo news today, and I do think that June will be hopefully a bit more busy, shedding cap space, making trades, whatever it may be. Who's for Nemec, Holtz, Mercer, a first and a second? Wow. Honestly, depends how high that first and second is. I would look at that for sure. I would look at that for sure. Smarties over M&Ms for me. No, I never hung out at Metrotown. It was just a little far. Didn't really know much about it back in the day. I am 48 years old. Nice to see you, Shannon. Rest up. Rest those feet. I have not seen Guardians 3. Thoughts on Jimmy Uso kicking Roman? It's still a great story. They've managed to drag it out this long and it's still going strong. Favorite dessert? Jell-O. Orange or red Jell-O? Nuggets versus Heat. I'm going Denver in 6. I'll go Denver in 6. What do you think, Kempner? Let me know. A lot of personal questions here, Uprightly. I'm just kidding. I live in Richmond, in the Steveston area. I have not watched John Wick 4. No desire to. Star Wars or Star Trek? Speaking of no desire, neither. I have no interest in either. What were your favorite places to hang out when you were a kid? When I was a kid, we would hang out in front of my house. Our house was where all the neighborhood kids gathered for basketball or hockey. Would like to hang out at parks and play outside for sure. At my elementary school, play some basketball. Would go to the mall once in a while, driving range, those kind of places. 7-Eleven. Yeah, next month, my Tridium, it's a little bit spread out. I think Father's Day is like on the 16th or something, third Sunday, and then first day of summer is the 21st, and then my birthday on the 22nd. Thank you, Fillmore. I appreciate it. Wow, Heat and sweet. You're in the Valley, sweet. And we got Jesse. Jesse joins franchise membership. That is we're celebrating. That's like a donation. Let's give Jesse some love. Jesse, I think you were a member before, if I'm not mistaken, but I am very happy that you are back. I'm going to try very hard to keep you. So welcome, Jesse. Let's give some love to Jesse in the chat for sure. Nuggets in 4 or 5, says Kempner. That's fair. I learn easier. Do you mean visually, like watching videos as opposed to reading? Yeah, watching videos and listening. I'm not the best reader. Tyler loves the Raptors. I knew that. Have I ever wished NHL player had more personality, talks like Dwayne Johnson? Well, not exactly like The Rock. I can't picture a guy saying, I'm going to take this hockey stick and shove it straight up your, the rest of that sentence. But yeah, I do like it in their personality. And I thought Matthew Tkachuk did a really good job on the TNT panel with Barkley and Shaq. I love the Phoenix Suns. I've always liked them since Kevin Johnson. Then it went to Charles Barkley. Then it went to like the Maury Stoudemire's and the Steve Nash's, and now even Devin Booker. I do like the Suns. Don't mind the Raptors. And I like the Celtics. And you like the Bulls. Very good. I don't know uprightly if I'm going to the Canucks home opener. It depends on what night of the week it is, because I can't go on Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights, because Tuesday night's bowling, Wednesday night is religious ed classes, and sometimes we sell it, sometimes we give it away, or my season ticket partner might want to go to that game. But if it's a night I can go to, like a Saturday or Friday, I'll go for sure. Yeah, I consider doing a CCC ball hockey game for sure. I'm not sure how athletic this crew is overall, but that might be fun. Angus just got home. That's cool. I hope you guys won. Jesse, I was gifted membership a couple times and decided to join on my own. Way to take initiative. That's awesome. What are you most excited about tourist-wise going to Peru? I'm not sure how much we're going to see, actually, because I think we're going to be pretty staple to the bowling alley to support Jacob. There's Machu Picchu, the wonderful mountain sightseeing there, but it's a little bit far, and I don't think you can just go sweep in and sweep out. So maybe it's simply just seeing some sights, visiting some churches, and hitting the beach when you can. I don't know. Actually, I said hitting the beach. I should probably look up where exactly Peru is on a map. Oh yeah, of course. It's on the west coast of South America. Okay, we'll make it work. We will make it work. Carol, thank you for the donation. The legend herself gets the donation train out of the station, even though she already gifted a membership. Thank you, Carol. Thank you for always doing these streams. I look forward to seeing you and talking with you. Yes, I'll give you a call on the weekend for sure, Carol. Let's give Carol some love in the chat, always supporting this community and me. You're awesome. Nelson Leafs. Nice. Good luck. Big budget Oscar winning movie made on your life. Who do you want to play you? Well, I'd play myself. I'm just kidding. Who would I want to play me? Who's a good looking Asian guy, just like I am? Maybe that guy, Henry from Glee, that dancer guy. He can play me, or that guy from Kim's Convenience, who the superhero guy. I don't even know his name. You guys know his name. Simu Lee or whatever. Is that his name? Simu Liu. Yeah, the guy who plays Shang-Chi, he can play me. How's that? The only thing exciting in the Richmond Silver City complex is you bowling on Tuesdays. Well, thank you. That place used to be packed in the late 90s. You mean that complex? Yeah, there's a lot there. When the Grizzlies were there training, and then they had Water Mania get popular, the movie theater, bowling, Old Spaghetti Factory. I really dislike Jell-O. Had so much over the hospital. That's my least favorite thing. Oh, and you want chocolate? Okay, you eat the chocolate. I'll eat the Jell-O. How's that? You lost 8-4. I was skating one leg after blocking a shot that just above the knee. Oh. So wait, were you the goalie tonight, Angus, or were you as a skater? Regardless, that sounds horrible. Yes, Simu, thank you. Seattle made the semifinal Memorial Cup. Hockey's getting big in Seattle. Yeah, I could see that for sure. Did you ever watch the Little House on the Prairie? No, I know that show, but I never ever watched it. Would I let Ken Jeong play you? Sure, why not? He's popular. He's funny. Probably make me look like even dorkier than I already am. But yeah, sure, why not? All right, friends, 2 or 3 more minutes. Keep them coming. I played golf today with my Special Olympics team. It's fun. Oh, that's awesome. What course did you play, Tyler? What course did you play? That's cool. Very cool. Yeah, I like that question actually about who should play me. I like that. Did you ever watch the show Little House on the Mosque? No, but I haven't even heard of it. But if it's meant to be like a satire and respectful satire, that sounds pretty funny actually. Skater tonight, icing the thigh now. Okay, good luck. Good luck. What do you say is the top 3 best talker in WWE? Yeah, in history, I'd say The Rock. I'd say, Shawn Michaels is pretty good. Steve Austin was pretty good. Ric Flair was pretty good. Guys like that. Macho Man was pretty funny. I can see the reflection of Clay's stream on the nameplate. Wow, you can? Oh, you can see the, you mean whatchamacallit? The camera. That's cool. Or no, or maybe not the camera. Yeah, maybe the camera or the visuals from the camera. I don't like broth by itself. I had to have that for the first 6 days post jaw surgery. Ugh. Yeah, broth by itself doesn't sound great. My Duran Duran fan. I am hungry like the wolf sometimes. Not a big fan, but I didn't mind some of their music. Driving range, my hometown golf course. Nice. Yeah, I figured it was a comedy on CBC. You know, I don't watch many Canadian sitcoms, so I'd have to go with Kim's Convenience. But I don't watch sitcoms, to be honest with you. I watch like suspense shows like Criminal Minds and The Blacklist. That's the kind of TV shows I like to watch. Trailer Park Boys. I can't say I'm a big fan of that show. All right, last minute. Busy night in Seattle. Mariners, Sounders, Duran Duran. Wow. That's a lot of crazy stuff. Little Mosque on the Prairie. Yes, not Little House on the Mosque. or whatever we said. Little Mosque on the Prairie. Yeah. Little House on the Mosque didn't sound right. No wonder it threw me off. All right, last question. What age, this is from Jay. Just waiting for it to load up here. What age did you move out? Not till I got married. So I was total mama's boy. I moved out when I was 26 once Gail and I got married. And is there an age you expect your kids to move out? No, we're in no rush. But our one rule is we don't want them to put us in like an old folks home or retirement home. They have to take care of us when they get older, just like we've taken care of them up until now. But we are no rush to boot any of our kids out. Friends, that's where I'm going to wrap up. Thank you for being here. As I mentioned, the one thing I do want to share is my next stream is actually this Saturday. So this Saturday, I will be doing Game Over Vancouver. No, I keep saying that. Game Over Stanley Cup with Peter of Calgary, Lauren of Toronto. Nice little collab over on the SDPN YouTube channel. So I'll try and post the link prior. But just remember, after game one, turn on YouTube and find SDPN Game Over. We would love to have you there and see you. That would be amazing. Friends, thanks for being here. Members who attended both streams, thank you for your perseverance tonight. And I'll give a shout out to the moderators. I want to give a shout out to the members, legendary Lucas Gates, legendary Carol Bovelander, and legendary Andrew Chang, Hall of Fame and franchise members as well. Thanks to all new subscribers, new members. Welcome to Jesse and welcome to Mackie, who was gifted by Carol. Thank you, Carol, for gifting the membership and for also your donation. I appreciate you as well. Yeah, so Carol with the donation, Carol with the gift, a membership that went to Mackie, and then Jesse becomes a new franchise member as well, which is awesome. So to all of you, thank you. Check out my sponsors, Advanced City Experts Real Estate, Perform and Transform, Personal Training, Weight Loss. If you're listening on a podcast platform, make sure you rate and review. And on your way out, subscribe, like the video, leave a donation, become a member, upgrade your membership, or gift a membership. Thanks for your support as always. And we'll see. It is June 1 tomorrow. We'll see what kind of news, Canucks news, that June may bring. Stanley Cup final start on Saturday. And June, as Fillmore Wax pointed out, is the month, my favorite month of the year, because it's the host of the Clay Tridium, which is 3 big events. It is Father's Day, the first day of summer, and my own birthday. Whew. Okay, friends, as always, stay safe, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, and take care of each other. Now, I'm not sure if you knew this or if you've met us, you might know this, but my wife Gail and I, we share the same sense of humor. We have to, because she doesn't have one. Oh, that's pretty funny. God bless, and go Canucks go. Booyah.